Alright guys, welcome back to some more Farming Simulator 17. That is right. And as you can see today, I have got the fast track on a courseplay course, delivering wheat, because we got a great demand for wheat, as you can see here, $903 per 1,000 litres, so I'm selling all of the wheat. You'll notice as well that we are at $974,000 right now. And this trailer load that we've got here is finally going to take us over $1 million, which is going to be pretty awesome to finally get that achievement. And I am going to keep selling it after that. As I say, I'm going to sell all of it, because why not? It will of course mean that we're going to have to spend a considerable amount of time replanting and harvesting wheat for the foreseeable future, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So yeah, as far as other things we're going to do today, I have a couple of things in mind, but we're going to see how we go just for the time being. I definitely know what we're doing after we get $1 million, because I can't remember when I said this, in which episode it was, but I said that once we get $1 million legit by playing the game, we're gonna pick up the last gold nugget and get a second million, basically. There we go. 1 million peak profits. Own a bank account with, what did that say? With 1 million in-game money. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, it is heading back by itself. I will just let it just fully unload the silo, basically. But yeah, for now, we are going to head back to the yard. Just go to the barn, for example. And I believe the last gold nugget, there it is, right there. I'll also pick up the eggs at the same time, because I've been avoiding picking up the eggs, because I didn't want to accidentally pick up the nugget, right? There it is. Look at it, all enticing like. Oh, there's an egg. Hello! They've been guarding this nugget well. Alright guys, here we go. Boom, you found all gold nuggets. Your remarkable find nets you 1 million, which have been transferred to your account. Okay, so we have got $2 million now to play with. The thing is, and this is something I decided on, because the free $1 million is honestly kind of ridiculous, and in a way kind of no effort required, right? Especially because I kind of looked up where they were, and then once you find 10, the game tells you where the rest are anyway. I've decided we're going to invest half of our current funds, essentially the 1 million we got from the gold nuggets, into a wind turbine, right, wherever it is, here. It's actually 1.2 million, so we'll be spending a bit of our own money on this as well, but this will give us money over time, and it's essentially like, just so that I won't feel in a way guilty for having gotten so much money for free, essentially. We're going to invest into this. It's kind of a bit like if we were going down like a kind of a roleplay route. It would be like funds given to us, like what's the word? I actually can't find or remember the word that I'm looking for, but it is essentially like a monetary gift or incentive from like a governing body to assist with like an investment into something economical, for example, like an electric car or a solar panel or a wind turbine, something like that, alright? I'm sure the smart people in the comments will tell me what word I'm trying to remember or find. I know it exists, I've heard and used it before, but for the life of me, I cannot remember right now. But it would be as if we were getting $1 million from like the American government to invest into green energy, right? And I have a very silly and funny idea as to where we're going to put it. Some of you may have an idea already, if you're thinking along the same wavelength as I am. But we're going to get in the pickup, we're going to head over there. And once I'm there, I mean, I won't even need to explain it, it'll be really funny. Hopefully it'll be really funny. I'll find it funny, which I guess is what's important. Right guys, do you remember this place? This is the southern forest that we basically obliterated in one of the early episodes when we were starting our forestry business, right? I thought this would be a very nice place to put a wind turbine to show that we are, you know, interested in economical and ecological and green and, you know, environmentally friendly and all of that stuff, right? All of the buzzwords. I hope you understand why it's funny. But yeah, like right here on this little raised section, I thought this would be a good place, like the highest point here, right? As long as the model doesn't like have like a flat base and it'll just sit there floating, that would look a bit odd. Okay, good. It does have quite a deep base to it. So it's got that little stairwell thing, which we'd want like sort of accessible ideally. Only problem is, which way is like the front of the turbine? Okay, so the stairs are, if the turbine is facing us, the stairs are pointing slightly to the left. I think about that is the best we're gonna do. Boom! Wait, why is it... Huh? Oh, wait, no, it's got nothing to do with the stairwell. It's the wind direction, of course, that makes way more sense. I would say that is truly a symbol of how invested in the environment we are, right? We have completely destroyed this forest to plant a wind turbine in the middle of where it once was. That's great. Okay. What I'm gonna do is head back to the farm and figure out what we're gonna do next. Alright guys, I am back, and what I've decided we're gonna do for the rest of the episode is... I think it's about time that we start work on pigs. The third and final animal type in the game. We have the money for it, we have everything except the root crops, which only take up 5% of their diet. And we can do that pretty damn easily, because I believe this planter can do sugar beet anyway, so that should be fine. And I'm doing this somewhat opportunistically, because in sales we have got a 15% sale on the larger animal trailer. And there is a sale on this truck as well, but we're not going to be using this truck because I don't want to. Instead, we are going to be getting a mod truck I found. This one right here, the Western Star 4900 SA Tandem. We also have the Tridem here, which is basically the same thing but with an extra rear axle, but I don't think we're going to go straight for the biggest one. There isn't really any point. But I want an actual branded truck that isn't a European truck, because this map is set in America, so, you know, I'd like an actual American truck to drive around. But because we're going to be getting that, we do not need the Juskin trailer anymore. So we're just going to repair this, like that, and then reset it back to the shop. There it is. Also, it looks like our fields have grown, which is pretty cool. I can get the N series doing some fertilizing while we are seeing to the pigs. Oh yeah, this is all ready to harvest, okay. What actually is that? That's sunflowers again, okay. I can get lots of jobs going on then in the meantime. Alright guys, I have the New Holland harvesting, Field 19. I've got the N series fertilizing in Field 15. We are over at the shop. You can see we've got our Juskin over here, ready to be sold. And yeah, let's go ahead and first grab our new trailer, the Micheletto AM19. And I believe we want this colour because then it will match the truck. So let's go ahead, buy this, 58k, done. And then we're gonna go to trucks. I'm gonna get the tandem Western Star. As you can see, the main color by default is this blue. It is slower than this one, but like I say, I want an actual truck. So, done. Bought. There we go, guys, look at this! Oh my goodness, I love it. I already love it. Look at this. I want to see what the interior is like. Oh, it is as good as I would hope. Look at that. Although it looks like the mirrors don't work, which is a bit sad, but no one uses the mirrors in this game anyway. The camera is a little odd on it. It's sort of low to the ground and zoomed in, but it's a mod, you can't expect perfection. It is very smooth though. There we go. Look at that. That is beautiful. Like, legitimately. I love that. That looks the part. The only thing is, it looks like the wheel's a little small. The wheels might be a little small compared to the trailer, but I mean, that's something I can deal with. That is amazing. Yeah, the camera is going to take a bit of getting used to. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. It is definitely lower than normal, but it's like it's zoomed in, but the weird thing is that by zooming out, it doesn't feel any better. It's most odd. Oh, something we must try is the horn. Hell yeah. Got an actual horn. Alright guys, here we are at the livestock market with our new Western Star. Let's go ahead. Grab some pigs. Now the trailer can hold 21 pigs, but I think I'm gonna get 20 because, well, we bought 60 of all of the other animals, but I'm thinking with the pigs, we might go all the way to like 100 pigs. I'm not entirely sure. For now we're gonna start with 20, or at least 3 lots of 20 for 60 to match the others. But I may end up going with even more than 60 pigs in total. Because we can. I don't know. Yeah, let's grab 20 pigs for now. There we go. Can we see them in there? We can, just about. Is there a control for this at all? Open cover. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that. I wonder why it's so tall. I would have thought that there would be like 2 layers to it. Right? And that would be why it was so tall and why it could carry so many. Like, we could totally fit a second layer and 20 more pigs in there. Right? I'm not the only one that thinks that. Oh, it opens the windows as well. That's pretty cool. I'm going to keep it like that. Why not? As always, we just need to turn around here. And then we can head back to the pig farm, which is actually just north of where, like, the farm is. Alright guys, here we are at the pig farm. I'm not entirely sure where we dropped off. It might be around the back there. Oh no, it's right here. So, we can unload 20 pigs. Confirm. Yes. Let's take a look at these guys. Look at them! Hello! Silly piggies, let's go. As you can see, I do have the pickup over here, so we can give them their water right away. Because I do not want them to be without water under any circumstances. What is this bit for? What is this? I have no idea what this box is. There's no gate, there's no trough, it's just a bounding box. Most odd. Anyway, I think now, obviously, I'm just gonna make several trips with our Western Star. And honestly, like I say, I really might just go straight for 100 pigs. I'm really tempted to. Alright guys, so as you can see, I did decide to go all in with the pigs. 100 of them. There we go. 100 pigs. Now, we just see to all of their needs. Firstly, the water. We can just go ahead and fill up their water. They need straw, which currently we have a bit of back at the cow pen. Although what I'm likely to do is, because I'm going to be planting wheat again, because as you guys know, we're entirely out of wheat because we sold it all. I'll be planting a lot of wheat, so I'll make some straw, get some straw bales, and we can give them their straw at a later point. But to start with, they need their base food, which is corn. That's a slight issue. We have run out of room for sunflowers. Luckily, the pigs do eat sunflowers, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with the sunflowers. I know I said we were going to give them their corn first, but I literally can't because the trailer is busy, and I can't put the sunflowers anywhere. So, let's fill up on sunflowers. And let's give them as many sunflowers as we can, and then put the remainder back into the silo. And then we can give them their corn. Alright, here we are. Let's just reverse up to the trough, that should be fine. I'm curious how many they need, should give us an idea of how much of the other things they're going to need as well. Okay. Almost 11,000. So, we're probably gonna need maybe 25,000 corn. And maybe 12,000 barley. That's my guess anyway. Alright, I'm back with the corn for the piggies. Hope do they enjoy this. There we go. Let's check. Was I correct? I was almost right. What was my guess? Like, was my guess 25k or so? It ended up being 27? Well, that's not too bad. By the way, I realized in a moment of pure genius what this box is for. You know how I was like, what the hell is this for? There's no gate, there's no trough. Well, I bet this is for the straw. I don't see what else it would be for, so yeah. What I'll most likely end up doing is storing some straw bales in one of these sheds and buying another straw mangler, this thing, 25k, relatively cheap, and just storing them here, so whenever they need straw, we've got bales, we've got the straw thing, we can just bring the Vulture over with the front loader, and, you know, give them their straw that they need. Alrighty, last but certainly not least, we have the barley. And there we go. It was 13.5, not quite, I think it was it 12 I guessed? But, yes, that is gonna be all we give them for the time being, because we don't have potatoes and sugar beet, and we don't have straw, but hopefully this will be, you know, fine for now at least. I mean, I literally can't do any better right now, so it'll have to be. By the way guys, while I'm here, I did end up figuring out the cow feed. Grass is its own thing, right? You do have to give them grass separately, and silage and hay and power food, if you give them total mixed ration, these bars fill up at exactly the same rate. As you can see, they are both, like, what would that be, like 3/4, 2/3-ish right now. They deplete and they fill up at exactly the same rate. As long as, like I say, you give them total mixed ration. So, that's that mystery sorted. But for now, I think there's one last thing I'd like to do today. So, firstly, I'd like to sell the old animal trailer. Let's see how much we get for it. 20,000, not too bad. And then, what I'd like to do, is I'd like to buy the Amazon Condor, which is the biggest sower in the game. It is a direct sower, so we do not need a cultivator to go with it. It does seed and fertilizer, and the GCB can run it. So, seeing as we have the money, seeing as we have fields that need replanting with wheat, I think this is just the perfect time to make this upgrade. We are going to keep the Pronto, because I just don't see a reason to get rid of it. It's a perfectly fine machine. But yeah, let's go ahead. Select this, no upgrades available. Buy. Yes. Done. $224,000 for the biggest sower. Also, I just noticed our wind turbine in the background. Look at that. You can see it from the shop. It's so cool. Like I said, sadly, it isn't pointing like towards us, but it does make sense that there is like a specific wind direction, so that's fine. But yeah, we need to take this back to the yard. We need to get it filled up with seed, filled up with fertilizer. By the way, I think what I'm gonna do, because the pigs will need some kind of root crop, is I'm gonna put sugar beet in field 19. So even though we will get like 1 billion sugar beet, it won't be as bad as if it was in a bigger field. Alright guys, I have filled the thing up to the brim with seed and with fertilizer. So we are ready to begin replanting. And there we go. The final seeder upgrade we will ever need to make. Unless, as I've said before, we buy more of the same one, right? We have multiple of the same machine on the go at once. That is pretty awesome. But that is also going to be it for this episode. It has certainly been a productive one. We sold literally all of our wheat to get $1 million. Picked up a single gold nugget to get a second $1 million. Bought 100 pigs. Bought a new truck to transport the pigs. Fed the pigs. Bought a new planter. Planting with the planter. But, like I said, that's all the time I have for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have managed to go ahead and leave a like. Comment if you wish. Subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you all in the next one. Talk to you all then.